Hi there everybody and welcome back to another video on the Toon Review YouTube channel. Hope you're enjoying your Monday so far. Well, the news from Newcastle United is it's heating up very, very fast. Players in, players out. And of course the transfer window slamming shut tomorrow night. It's going to be a busy period, and I think it's going to be a busy period for Newcastle United by the looks of things. And also Eddie Howe spoke to the media ahead of tomorrow's massive second leg. Of course, Newcastle 1-0 up from the first leg. 1 foot in the door to Wembley. Can they finish the job off tomorrow night? We will see what the managers had to say, but that'll be a bit later on. We'll start on Jonjo Shelvey. Now, of course, this news broke yesterday around incredibly about a possible move to Nottingham Forest. Now, this, as I say, it came out the blue, but Nottingham Forest looking to improve the midfield and, of course, pull away from the relegation zone in the Premier League. And they feel like Jonjo would be a fantastic player to join them and help them out of that cause. Of course, Jonjo's had plenty relegation battles experience in his past with Newcastle United, but he's been here for 8 years, and I think, he's never been every fan's cup of tea, but I think he's done brilliantly for us. Stuck with us when we went down, etc. And, he played his part in us getting back into the Premier League and maintaining our position there. But I wish him all the best. Now, the deal is expected to be around about a 2.5-year deal for Jonjo, which he'll be really, really happy with if he secured a 2.5-year deal. The fee is yet to be announced. Now, there was some bandings around of 10, 12, 15 million, but I'm not sure. It hasn't been officially announced what the fee is yet, so we will wait and see on that one. But, whatever the fee is, at least we're getting some money for him. Of course, the wages, which I thought would be an issue for Nottingham Forest, apparently not. Forest are said to have increased his wage from what he was on at Newcastle. They've given him a small wage increase, so he's expected to be on well over £70,000 a week. Now, for me, that's staggering. I didn't expect Jonjo to actually get a pay rise at his stage in his career. But listen, this is where Nottingham Forest are. This is what they're wanting to do at the minute to secure their place in the Premier League and get away from the relegation danger. So, let them do what they do. It's incredible for me that he's going to get a wage increase. He's one of the highest earners at Newcastle, and he'll probably continue to be that at Nottingham Forest. But that's probably going to be announced later on today. He is in Nottingham for medical this morning, so, personal terms have apparently been agreed and things like that. So it's only a question now of him getting that done and then Nottingham Forest announcing the official signing of Jonjo Shelvey. But I really wish him well, really do. He's as I say, he's been a stalwart for the last 8 years, and not everybody's cup of tea, but he has done really well for us. We can remember some memorable goals that he scored for us as well. So I wish him well, I really do. Now, that would sort of panic you into thinking, right, well, if Jonjo Shelvey's gone, then surely Newcastle United have somebody else to come through the door. And you would expect that because centre midfield is an area of the pitch where we are lacking in any depth at the minute. We really are. And we've said many, many times that we're a couple of injuries away from a monumental crisis because, lose someone like Bruno or lose Willock, Joe Linton, any of these players, and it could put us in serious trouble. So we'll see what happens. But the main man that seems to be mentioned for Newcastle United at the moment is the Sheffield United player Sander Berge. Now, this again came out of nowhere yesterday. Certainly a player that we weren't expected to be linked with. But when you look at it into more detail, Alex brought some stats up yesterday on him, during the show last night, and some of it's very, very good. Now, apparently, Sander Berge is wanted. He's attracting interest from other Premier League teams and Napoli in Serie A. So, there wouldn't be the pedigree in him if he wasn't a decent player. And look, let's face it, we've got to put our trust in what Eddie Howe and the rest of them are looking at here, because they've obviously scouted Sander Berge. He's 24-year-old. He fits the bill nicely. And the fact that a lot of clubs are interested in him, he might not be this absolute star name that we probably expected, Newcastle to go for now, but he's obviously got a talent. Now, we have to put our faith in the management system at Newcastle United, who obviously believe that Sander Berge is the right player to come in. Now, we over here, we face competition from Fulham, who are apparently looking to bring him in as well. But Sheffield United are in a bit of a financial mess at the moment, and their manager, Paul Heckingbottom, admitted yesterday during an interview after the Wrexham game that it's completely out of his hands. He'd obviously like to keep the player because they're pushing, for promotion at the top end of the Championship at the moment. But it's out of his hands due to the financial situation at Sheffield United. So that puts us in good stead. Now, obviously, going against Fulham, you would expect maybe if we can sell the club the right way, Sander Berge would say, yes, that's the club I want to go to. But we'll have to wait and see. But the mess that, financially that Sheffield United are in at the minute, a deal could be done. It's got to happen quickly, obviously, because the window shuts tomorrow. But apparently we've offered £20 million with a loan to buy. So obviously we'd loan him for the rest of the season and then get everything sorted out with the purchase in the summer. Now, Eddie Howe has spoken to this morning, and we'll have a look at what he had to say, different questions that he faced. But one of them was about Alan St-Maximin, and he has blatantly, categorically turned around and said that he is absolutely not for sale. Whatever these rumours are going around about ASM, he is not for sale. Eddie Howe says he's an integral part of the team, and he will be staying at Newcastle United. So everybody that's putting on, these things on Twitter and social media that, clubs are interested in him or, get him out the club and all this, he's not going anywhere. And he's an integral part. And that's exactly what we've been saying for a long time now, that there's no way they'll get rid of St-Maximin at the minute because, we're not going to sell him, Shelvey, other players that have gone in the way. It's just not going to happen. So I'm quite happy that ASM's staying, to be honest, because I think he's a big player for us and will be a big player for the rest of the season. Now, Eddie's press conference, so basically he was asked about Jonjo Shelvey, and he says, Jonjo, I believe, is talking to Forest. I don't know what stage it is at currently. He's been a huge player for this football club over the last 7 to 8 years, and has been an important part of my squad. I certainly don't want to lose him, but I have to understand the player's wishes with his contract coming to an end. Yeah, so he's not willing to take the chance that he's not going to get that contract extension. And like I've said there, 2.5 years, a deal at Forest is probably at his stage of his career exactly what he's looking forward. So a replacement just for Shelvey, Eddie says, we'll see what we can do in the market to see if we can bring someone in. In terms of permanent signings, that will be very difficult, but we'll look for a loan situation, but it has to be the right player. So again, is the right player Sander Berge? He was also asked why he thinks Jonjo is leaving, and he says it will be very difficult to keep Jonjo currently with where he wants to go in his career. You can keep players that they want to leave, but you have to take every situation independently and try to judge everything. It's a very difficult situation because from a footballing perspective, I definitely want to keep Jonjo, but there's his situation to think about. So there you go. Make of that what you will. I don't think there's been a falling out or anything. I just think Eddie Howe really understands that maybe it is now time for Jonjo to move on. He's not really going to get the opportunities that maybe would have come around had he stayed fit. So for me, it's a good move, certainly for Jonjo Shelvey. Now, he talked about Anthony Gordon, and he says he'll give us a lot. He's a young player with huge potential to have a big impact on our season. Very quick, dynamic. He's versatile and can play on both sides. The best is yet to come from him. He can add something different for us. He says, I believe he will fit our style of play. He's an incredible athlete and has the ability to run box to box at very high speed. I think he is the athletic durability that we want in our wide players. He has the passion that the fans will feed off, but Anthony will have to earn that support, which we know that. Then he basically made a rallying cry for tomorrow, which was interesting. He says, I've drilled this into the players. This game is by no means over. The tie is not over. It's very much in the balance. We're going to need a top performance, and we're going to need the crowd from us from minute 1 until the end. So again, that's what it's all about tomorrow night. It's going to be a fantastic atmosphere in there. And I think Eddie knows that. And, telling the players to, be motivated from that. When you step out there and you see those flags and scarves waving, you pick up on that atmosphere and get to work straight away. Now, basically, he was asked if he thinks the team has been boosted by having a weekend off. And he says, the rhythm you get from playing a game is sometimes better than resting. We've trained well and the players are in a good place. The boys have been together this week and the preparation has been good. And currently, we're very pleased. So, again, fantastic news. He's really buoyed by the training and this amazing group that he's got together, Eddie Howe. It really is exciting. Now, on Carl Darlow, this is very interesting. He says, Carl will be involved with us tomorrow, and then we'll see where we are after the game. Now, this is expected to be a loan deal, of course, to Hull City. Now, Hull City came out last week and said everything was done. The paperwork was signed. There's nothing needs doing. But again, it's this thing about Carl Darlow being on the bench for the cup games when we've got Carriers sitting there. It's a strange one for me. Really is. Now, it's 1 year, of course, anniversary of signing the great Bruno to Newcastle United, and Eddie was asked about that, and especially that backheel goal that he scored, of course, away at Southampton. He says, it was one of those moments where I didn't realise how the ball had gone in. You look back at it now and go, wow, I haven't seen a goal like that scored many times. Since then, he's done that many times where he's done something that stands out. And he does. He's just incredible. And, of course, he was asked the question about Isak and whether he will start. He says, I've certainly got a decision to make in a few positions, and that is great from my perspective that we have competition building. We're looking and analysing training as well. I've got a big call to make. Now, a lot of press and pundits are going along the lines of he's going to leave Callum Wilson out. Now, we'll discuss this tonight on our live preview show, of course, and it'd be interested to get Alex and Billy's thoughts on it. But at the minute, a lot of the pundits and media are predicting that Isak will be up front for Newcastle United and not Callum Wilson tomorrow. Now, he did get asked about the spat with Trippier and Shah, of course, for Anthony Gordon. And he says, it's interesting looking back at the footage. I like that he didn't stand down that day. He was aggressive in standing his position. The supporters and teammates will grow to love that about him. Now, that's what we did say as well on the show. We did say that it would be fantastic because he now becomes, he's one of them players that is a shithouse when he plays against us. But when he's playing for you, he's our shithouse now. And I think that's what will endear him to the fans, because if he puts the effort in and also, sticks up for his teammates, sticks up for himself, he'll get the backing of all the team around him and the fans. So there's a lot to look forward to about Anthony Gordon. There really is. But anyway, that's the latest news so far today, guys. As you can see, we're very, very close to 17,000 subscribers. So if you have enjoyed the video, please do smash the like button. And if you're new to the channel, hit the subscribe button. Free to do so. Come and be a part of this fantastic community, which are building up to 17,000 and beyond, which is going to keep going, guys. We've got a lot coming up on the channel. Really looking forward to deadline day tomorrow. Starting streaming from 10 a.m. all the way through, and that would include live commentary of the Newcastle-Southampton second leg with Billy and Alex tomorrow. But let me know in the comments what you think about Sander Berge. Has that come out of the blue? Is it does it inspire you as a signing? Because I know, obviously, we're expecting bigger names. Maddison has gone quiet at the minute, so whether we do anything behind the scenes with him. But is Sander Berge the player that you were looking for? And what about Jonjo Shelvey? Would you have kept him, given the situation with the depth in midfield at the minute? Or are you happy to see Jonjo go and get another 2.5 years contract, which, of course, secures everything for him for financial reasons and his family for years to come? So let me know what you think. But thank you very much for watching, guys. And we'll see, if you're watching this on Monday, we'll see you tonight for the preview show and any latest news, of course. So we'll bring that to you right here on the Toon Review. So it should be fantastic tonight. So join us for that. But enjoy the rest of your Monday, guys, and take care.